What was a staple food in your childhood home?
Staple growing up, I remember we'd have spaghetti night at least once a week, and what's weird is we're not Italian necessarily.
It's not like a staple food, it's a staple meal, and it was very traditionally Black. It was fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, and peach cobbler. All of the above.
I'm South Indian, so we've got a lot of our traditional foods, but there's a certain dish that I think embodies it, and it's fish curry. We call it puli, and it's such a unique taste, and even though I would be able to share my other South Indian food with my white friends, my mom would be like, this is for us only, because it's so unique. And I think that for me, that makes it feel so specifically part of Kerala cuisine.
All right, when did you first become aware of your race or ethnicity? Kindergarten, my mom was very hard on me about my behavior because I was at a majority white school, and every day I came home in trouble for being a class clown or talking too much or whatever. She would always say, I don't want you acting up around those white people. And so just looking back, it's man, what did that do to how I felt about being in those spaces? I think that was probably when I first realized that I was different.
I think it was made really clear to me when I moved to Georgia. I was in 5th grade. Kids would ask me am I mixed Vietnamese and Asian? And I'm like, what? The feeling of being so different and being the first Asian person these people have ever seen in South Georgia was it was made known to me that I was different.
If you could speak freely about race and diversity without fear of being silenced or misunderstood, what would you say?
It's hard for me to answer the question because I can't figure out how to transfer the sense of urgency to other people to where it's do not walk away from this conversation without planning on doing something. And let's talk about your plan on doing something before you leave this conversation. There's a whole narrative, a whole background that I'm having to live in and react to and function in.
If I could speak freely about it, I would be yelling quite often, reminding people that it's a thing, that it matters, that it's not something we're intended to ignore or dismiss, or we're all human. I'm a Black human though, is a thing, and that's part of my experience.
For groups that, diverse groups, people of color, there's so much, I have so many questions. And I think there's a world that I've been living in that I'm aggressively trying to understand that I'm just it's a blind spot, and there are privileges that I can't see past, and all of these things that I just want to learn more and faster, but I don't know how to do that and also be respectful, because it's not everybody's job to educate the white dude who's been living ignorantly and at the benefit of his privilege. I wish I had a more effective way of having a conversation.
I wish that talking about being a good person wasn't a political thing. Why do diversity gaps exist? How do we close them?
I think diversity gaps exist because we're not listening to each other.
I think with these conversations and asking people questions, being curious, empathizing, I think that's how we can close the gap.